always seem to get the time wrong. Time wrong, I blow up and then they're all gone, all gone. So sick of saying hold on, hold on. A broken state, shaking the ground beneath, running from everything, seems to be the path I lead. And now I'm beating on the floor, wondering why I feel like a ticking time bomb. Time bomb, always seem to get the time wrong. Time wrong, I blow up and then they're all gone, all gone. So sick of saying hold on, hold on. I took a shot on hoping I'd never change. I wonder why I'm always broken. Stuck in time just like I'm frozen, frozen. Now I'm slowly thinking, a product of overthinking again. Hold it in and change my breathing. Settle down and stop repeating amends. I feel like a ticking time bomb. Time bomb, always seem to get the time wrong. Time wrong, I blow up and then they're all gone, all gone. So sick of saying hold on, hold on. I feel like a ticking time bomb.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the final installment of Touchline Talk ever. No, that's not true. The final installment before I go on holiday next week, anyway. So this will be the last stream on the channel for a while. There will still be content whilst I am away. However, there will not be any live shows because I'll be on holiday trying to enjoy myself. No, successfully enjoying myself. Might put some photos on Twitter of the lovely food. How are we all doing though today? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please make sure to leave a like on the video as you are entering the stream. It is free and it helps support your boy out. Today we're going to have a... We technically have a topic today, which is the title of the video, which is, you know, will City win the title? Where do we think the squad's at? And sort of like a brief overarching summary. But as it's the last one before I stream again for a while, it can also just be a pretty laid back stream today where you guys can feel free to ask a lot of questions and I can feel free to answer them as well. So we don't necessarily have to stick with that one topic. As I say, we can be pretty loose today. We can be pretty loose and chill today with that situation. As my mic is, look at that, it's spinning around. I'm spinning around and I don't want to spin around. I don't know why it's doing that. It's quite frustrating. But yeah, how are we all doing today? Welcome, 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 welcome. If City score over 100 goals, yes, they win the title, says B. Can't see winning the Prem if Pep continues managing like he did versus Al Hilal. Of course I'm on time. Absolutely. Always on time. No cap. Hello, Michael. Ready to collapse, says Hunter. We're probably going to get top 4, says Kobe. Maybe a title race is best. At best, sorry. Jack's City till I die. We'll love to see that. Good evening, Yanko. How are you? Pep doesn't deserve to win, says Anissa. It's harsh words there. Can't wait for Gundo, Bernardo, and Akanji to start against Wolves. Yeah, well, yeah. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Leo says, I sound like a prophet of doom. There's no way we'll be competing in the top 3 teams. This is based off what I saw against Al Hilal. I'm not Pep out. Honestly, he needs to be questioned. What the hell? Respect the music, respect Go for Gold, and respect this Raglan NASA top. I'll have you know. Mike says we should sign another midfielder. Hello, Dave. How are you? Always on time, of course. And the answer is no unless the rebuild continues. And Jamal says hi. Hello, yes. Hello, guys. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Shaky analysis video should be coming out on Sunday, FYI. Hopefully I can get the Nori video done before I leave for holiday on Tuesday. And that will be and that will be releasing when I'm away. So I'll schedule it to release. William, thank you very much for the super chat, matey. Here's a fortune for you. Never give up on someone that you don't go a day without thinking about. Okay, it's quite prophetic there. And I just learned about Jota, just incredibly sad. Rest in peace. Yeah, obviously horrendous news. He and his brother very tragically passed away. It's just horrible, isn't it? Yeah, so obviously thinking about the families at this incredibly difficult time, and it's just a disgusting situation, isn't it? Sadly, it's just life is so frail and short. So tell someone you love that you love them. You know what I mean? Where's the Shoki video? Hopefully, no, it will be out this weekend. It is 3,000 words. I think this will be the longest analysis video I've done. I think the longest one I've done up until this point was the Marmouche one, but that also included like a 2-minute advert in there as well. There is no advert. There's no sponsor in this video. And it's 3,000 words. That is a university essay. That's what I've written about Shirky. So the video is going to be like, I don't know, like 15 to 18 minutes long, something like that. It'll be worth it, though. It'll be a good video, I promise you. It'll be the same quality as my other ones. But this might be the best one, to be honest. I keep researching on Shirky, and I keep learning new things. Hence, that is delaying the process, because I keep wanting to add things into my script, because I want it to be as comprehensive as possible, so you guys know I just need to watch this one video on Shirky, and then I'll know everything I need to know about him. That's the aim with my videos. I think Nori 1 should be a lot simpler. He's a far more simple player. That's not a diss, by the way. It's just a reality. But yeah, so thank you very much, William, for the super chat. And again, the Jota news is incredibly sad. I'd say a lot of City fans have been very reactionary. Apparently, we are back. We beat Juve, and now we are shit again. Jax, that's how it happens. We know that this is the world. We shouldn't have taken too much from this tournament. We can take some positives, of course, and we discussed them last stream. There are, of course, some positives, but at the end of the day, there is the context of it being a post-season tournament. We do need to reel it in a little bit, absolutely. The vibe says Pep out enough is enough. I still think that's silly, to be honest with you. I do think that we'll see next season that in an actual season situation, and with all these new signings, and with the outgoings that will happen, I think we will see that. I think we'll win the title next season. That's my prediction. That's my prediction. Actually, no, I'll caveat that. If we're bringing the right back, I'm going to say that we will win the Premier League. That's my prediction. Yeah, don't forget, guys. Let's keep this alive. Let's keep this alive. Hashtag Rodrigo. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, so the title of the stream is, will Man City win the Premier League? Can we win the league? Are we ready to do it? That sort of thing. Lol, thank you very much for the super chat, matey. You get a fortune for that. Shoot for the moon. If you miss, you will still be amongst the stars. That's very cute. That's very cute. Thank you, mate. Just sent a super chat. Thank you very much. Excuse me. Yeah, the title of the stream is, will City win the Premier League? I think that I have seen enough from our new signings to know that they are all hits. Shirky is a hit. Reinders is a hit. Aitnori is a hit. That's good. And I don't think there's going to be much settling in or embedding in time either. Reinders is already there. He's locked in. He's been here for years, it seems. I think Aitnori, it'll be a similar situation. I do think the question will be how quickly and how readily can we accommodate Shirky, because he is a player that you accommodate. He is absolutely someone that you make what term am I after here? Sacrifices for. I don't know if that's the right term, but you certainly make sacrifices for him. You certainly accommodate him and the system and the shape so that he's able to perform at his best, because he is that good of a player. I hope that we will do that. I think we will do that based on what I saw against Juventus, based on what I saw also against Bournemouth. I'm very hopeful. I'm very hopeful of that. We do need another right back, and I think we touched on it, didn't we, in the post-mortem as well? And we went even further on that on LNobbins. It's no longer become a question of a debate around, do you think Nunes is good enough? That's now irrelevant, because the actual question is, do we have enough offensive right backs in the sides to be playing the system that we think is going to be the best system? And the answer to that question is obviously no, because we saw the stark contrast in the Al Hilal match in the first half versus like the 55th minute or whatever it was when Nunes came off, and we had to go to a 3-2 rather than the 2-3, and that massively hindered us going forwards, amongst other things as well. So that tells me that it's not even a question of, do you think that Nunes is good enough? It's a question of, do you think Nunes is going to be able to play every single minute of every single game next season? And the answer to that question is no, it isn't. And we don't really have a suitable understudy to do a similar-ish role. And the other role that we can do is not going to be optimal depending on the opposition. So we do need to address that, of course. And I do think if we do that, then we will have a really good chance, because then you're looking at, people saying Edison out, we'll get onto Edison, but either way, we'll have in respect to the outfield positions, you'll have two competent offensive right backs, also the defensive right back options as well, in case you do want to play with a back three. You've got offensive left back options in Nori and Gvardiol and Nico O'Reilly, and also defensive left back options in Gvardiol and Ake, and even Akanji if you need to do that. Centre backs, we have Diaz, we have Kusanov, we have Gvardiol, we have Ake. We should be pretty sorted there. Again, depends on outgoings, but right now that should be fine. Defensive midfield options, once again, in theory, you've got Rodri there, you've got Nico Gonzalez there, you can have a Rodri-less pivot of the two. Of course I read chat, yes, don't worry. This is a back and forth show, Touchline Talk, don't you worry, mate. We can have a Rodri-less pivot of Nico and Reinders. You've got the more offensive players who, like Echeverry, like Cherki, like Foden, also like Reinders for some potential games. You've got good depth out wide, nominal wingers, Doku, Savio, Marmouche, Bob, players who could even play out wide, like Cherki and Foden, and so on and so on, Bernardo as well, potentially. And then you've also got decent forward options, with Haaland and Marmouche, and maybe even like a false nine situation with like a Foden and that sort of thing. There is definitely the building blocks there to win the title. I'm pretty confident of that. I guess the question will just be, how quickly will Pep settle on his preferred shape, his preferred his preferred system for the season, and will it actually work as well? Will it work as well? We always see Pep very rarely starts the season with the system that he ends it in. I'll be very interested to see what Pep actually goes for. And that's a question. What would you guys like to see next season? What in possession mechanics or in possession numbers, like formation, would you like to see? What would be the key elements of your side when City are on the ball? I'm looking for the 2-3-5 with the fullbacks pushing up to the wings. That seems to be how that seems to be the direction the squad is going in. But let me know if you guys have a different view on that. I'd be very interested to hear what you guys have to say. As I say, this is a very chilled out stream. I don't really have a set topic to touch on, so we're going to have a more laid back and forth approach and situation. Going on holiday to Brazil, and yeah, I'll link up with Spartacus. Yeah, I think we won the FA Cup, says Nintendo. I was defending you against someone shit talking you for Rodrigo. Thank you, Suvik. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna change. I'm not gonna change on my opinions on Rodrigo at all, unless, you know, I don't know, Marmouche gets a fucking ACL or something. Make sure to leave a like, guys, on the video. It is free. Yeah, the Shoki video will be good. As I say, it will hopefully be announced. Hopefully be released on Sunday, I'm hoping for. I've got a family function happening on Saturday, but hopefully Sunday I can release it and finalise the editing process. I'm just looking at a Shoki graph right now of expected assists per 90 versus forward passes per 90, and it is hilarious. It's really, really funny. There are two players in the top right of this graph. That's a game, guys. This is from the top 7 leagues. On the x-axis, it's expected assists per 90, and on the y-axis, it's forward passes per 90. Who do you guys reckon are the 2 players in the top 2? Based on last season, let me know. It's not a trick. It is very guessable. Thoughts on Dumfries? Not for me. Joshua, not a fan. I think he's a fine player, but I think that he's not really what I am after. Certainly not off ball. Anyway, it's not really what I'm after. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I'll pop him there. Yeah. 10 million for Reece James is. I don't think it's viable. Ari, the injuries, and also he's not going to leave Chelsea, is he? Don't think we win it against. Sorry, don't think we win it. Arsenal get Zubimendi and a forward. They go past as Liverpool are adding verts and fullbacks to. Yeah, we'll have to see on the. Forward situation, because I do agree. If Arsenal can get this elite forward, then the rest of their team is set. The goalkeepers are set. They have the best defensive depth in the world. They have the best defensive midfield depth in the world. Question marks on how does that translate to attacking midfield, but in respect of like just central and defensive, certainly. But they don't have enough going forwards, and as I say, they don't maybe have that offensive midfielder either. So if they can bring in like this elite superstar forward player or attacking midfield player, then yeah, they are a serious threat. Obviously they are. Rip Jota, do you think it will impact Liverpool's start defense? Yeah, so we obviously horrendous situation, Andrew. I can't even. I mean, it's obviously sad in any context for obvious reasons, but I can't even imagine like if you're like a Liverpool fan or whatever, because obviously you'll have far more of an attachment to them than I. So yeah, it's a horrendous situation, and I know obviously there's a humanist side of it first and foremost, but there is also the practical question of, you know, he was obviously a fantastic player as well. So yeah, practically Liverpool would have to sign someone else. You would think, wouldn't you? Because obviously they didn't go into next season thinking that was ever going to happen. Obviously, stop committing 7 to 8 players forward. Need to be more solid. Who's committing 7 to 8 players forward? Hello, City. I don't think City have ever committed 7 to 8 players forward. The most I've ever seen them do is, unless like they're chasing a game in like the 90th minute, is 6. In respect to formation, the most I've ever seen is 6, and then 3-1-6. I've never seen 7 or 8, Victor, so I don't know where that's come from. I just want competent defending. We don't do that over here, yeah? Oh yeah, so here are you guys' guesses. Verts and Cherki. Cherki and Messi, he's not in the top 7 league. Nunes and KDB. Cherki and Verts. Cherki and KDB. Verts and Cherki. Bruno, that's a great shout. Reinders, Cherki, Verts and Beef Cherki. Cherki and Messi. Reinders and Cherki. It is, guys, drum roll. Cherki and Kevin De Bruyne. They are the 2 in the top right for expected assists per 90 and forward passes per 90, or the 2 closest to the top right anyway. Bruno Fernandes is a great shout, but he's more in the forward passes per 90, but not on the expected assists per 90. Baena has got more expected assists than Cherki, but has not got the forward passes. Verts is more. He's nearly got as many forward passes per 90, but nowhere near the expected assists per 90. Below him, you've got Cole Palmer, who matches Verts' expected assists, but nowhere near the forward passes per 90. And then you've got Yamal slightly to the right of Verts, but below him in respect to the forward passes. So I'm not. Obviously, there is no direct replacement. Obviously, there isn't. But these are numbers that you like to see when you're looking at losing Kevin De Bruyne and bringing in someone else. Of course, there's no direct replacement. Of course, there isn't, and there never will be. But that's a nice sign. That's a promising sign. Of course, I forgot to put a message on the super chat. Do you think Marmoush can play in the 10 role like a shadow striker? So, there's 2 very different things there. I think he can definitely play as a shadow striker or a second striker, because that is definitely his best role. But I don't think that he can play as like what we would deem a 10 to be, which is a very different responsibility and requires very different traits. I don't think he's got the first touch to players like this pure 10 sort of player, sadly. Maybe he can develop that, but it's not good enough. That's why I also don't like the idea of like Marmoush as like a false 9 sort of player. If you were going to play like a Haaland-less system or whatever, and you wanted to play false 9, I think the best thing to do would be to play someone who's better suited to that, someone with a better first touch, and then like a Bob or a Foden, even though I don't want Foden in false 9, but that would benefit Marmoush a lot more than have Marmoush play off him. Good question, though. Good question. As long as Arteta is Arsenal's manager, I don't back them to win anything. This will be interesting. This will be interesting for Arsenal, because what I just said earlier was if they get this elite forward player, or two, maybe, then they will be a true, obviously, offensive threat and what's not. But I think it's more than just having the player, because I think it would also... There's also this question mark of, in order to best utilize those attacking players, you obviously are then going to have to sacrifice a level of defensive solidity, because you're going to have to obviously attack more and be a bit braver and take a few more risks. So it's all about that balancing act. Can Arteta balance this thing of keeping Arsenal as the best defensive side in the world, whilst also being good enough going forwards? I'd be shocked if Arsenal were as good as they were last season defensively, and the seasons before that, whatever, whilst also adding on top all of this attacking talent. It's not quite as straightforward as it's not quite as straightforward as, oh, just pop an attacker there and you're absolutely fine. Do you get what I mean? Rodrigo to Liverpool, and I think Rodrigo to Arsenal probably makes the most sense based on what they need. Yeah, if you guessed Shirky and De Bruyne, then I don't have a prize for you, but you got it right. So excellent work. You know what I mean? Excellent work. And as I say, other creative players that City were either linked with or compared against, he's doing better than, Wirtz, Bayern, Yamal, Palmer, and that sort of thing. So it's good company to keep, and this is based on last season, obviously. So that's really good to see. Where's my reward? Sorry, there is no reward. You get the satisfaction in knowing that you're a smart boy. So is that not reward in itself? Oh gosh, yeah, he'll be lovely, won't he? Absolutely agree. Marmoush left, Shirky right, both coming inside. I agree that would be my go-to starting 11 100%. 100%. Yeah. The Marmoush situation is interesting because he's sort of... I think that this tournament has not done his stocks any good. I think that lots of people have been not very impressed by his performances over the tournament, and I agree, they weren't impressive, but he wasn't played in his best position and not played in his best role, and he only shared the pitch with Haaland for like barely any time at all, and those are going to be the best minutes of Marmoush when he's actually sharing the pitch with Haaland. So people may start... I mean, I've already seen it. People are already saying that they're like bored of Marmoush, he's not fast and all this, but it'll be fine. We saw how good he was when he came in Jan through to April or whenever it was, and when he I don't know how many goal contributions he got, but certainly at per 90, I think he was right up there, wasn't he, as our best, or certainly like one of our best. Keep the faith in Marmoush, keep the faith in him. He will come good. It'll be a good time. He's an elite player. Don't worry. Don't worry about Marmoush. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. We all know Pep's not going to give Shirky the minutes he deserves, and we will miss out on the league again. He'll keep playing the same old tired players. If he does do that, then yeah, we aren't going to win the league, are we? If he decides to play Gundogan instead of Reinders, or Bernardo instead of Foden, or I don't know, Kovacic instead of Shirky, that's an extreme example, but I'm going to have the faith and say that isn't what's going to happen. To be honest with you, that's my hope. That's my gut instinct. I think that at least one of them will be gone. Surely Gundogan's not going to be here, surely. Would you make a... Yeah, if that happens long term, then that is bad. Then that is obviously bad. That cannot happen. And if it does happen, that is a mistake. If you want to play a midfield three, if you know, like Rodri, Reinders, Foden, I don't know why you... Sorry, Rodri, Reinders, Bernardo, I don't know why you do that. I don't know why you wouldn't just like play Foden instead of Bernardo, who offers a hell of a lot more. That makes no sense to me. That makes no sense to me. Hopefully, again, Pep alluded to it. Ari, the potential deeper role. We'll see. We'll see. Will you give a cookie as a rewards? I don't have any cookies in the house, mate. Why don't we do this anymore? Pass it back to keeper, stretch the opposition, hit them with speed. We certainly got players for it this time around. You can... That is very, very reliant on the other team playing nice. When teams do that, like Juventus did, and they try to press us man-to-man, then we can absolutely do that. But if teams don't play into our hands like that, then there's not really much that we can do about that, to be honest. You can only bait what is there to be baited, if that makes any sense. This guy, Sam, this guy. Oh, God. Please, no more 4-player rest defense. 5 is way better. When does City play a 4-player rest defense? It's always a 3-2 or a 2-3, which is 5. Sorry, 3-1. Yeah, which I don't like, to be fair. So no, I agree with you. I don't like a 3-1. I've been against it. I don't like it. I prefer a 3-2 or a 2-3. Yeah. Should we sign a new box-to-box midfielder if we're letting go Kovacic or Gundo? Also, Gahey can be good centre-back if we're selling a Kanji. Here's a fortune for you. For your super chat. Everyone agrees you are the best. Wow. Unreal super chat. Absolutely goated behaviour. I don't think that if you're getting rid of 1, you don't need to. If you're getting rid of 2 or 3, then yeah, you do probably need it for the numbers. Probably. I guess it depends on how you view Nico O'Reilly and Rico Lewis's future as well. Like, is Nico O'Reilly going to get any minutes in the middle? If so, you don't need to sign anyone. Is he just going to become a fullback next year and you get rid of 2 or 3, then you probably do need someone. But I suspect that will be a conversation for next season. I would suspect, because I can't see all... I can see all of Gundo, Kova, Bernardo leaving by the end of next season. So next summer, I think we will need to bring in another midfielder. If Reinders is brought in for Gundogan, and let's say, just for a numbers game, let's say that, Nico is being brought in for Kovacic, and then Bernardo leaves, then you might need another body there, unless you are going to inwardly promote someone. So that might be Foden's now going to take over that role entirely, or Rico Lewis is going to take over that, or Nico O'Reilly, whatever. I think it depends on what happens internally as well. Get some cookies. City fan from South Africa. So I looked at my analytics yesterday, and the 3rd biggest demographic on the LNobbins channel is South Africa. It's obviously the UK first, and then the US, and then South Africa. So big up to people in South Africa, yeah? I've apparently got bare people there who like your boy, so shout out the South African massive, you get me? I think Liverpool will win it again. Our defence looks disjointed. Teams are slicing through us easy. Pep needs to stop using Gundo and Bernardo. I definitely agree with that last bit, 100%. And to be fair, if he does keep doing it, I take the point. I take the point that we won't win it. We can't rely on the old guard anymore. I totally agree with you. If we played my starting 11, I think we'd win it. But, yeah. Stop with Rodrigo. Why is everyone playing 5 at the back these days? Because they're scared. Yeah? They're scared to concede. Look at those South Africans. Big up, man. Big up to your mothers. And you, obviously. And you. Dave, what the hell? Pep loves Gundo. Silva bet he will start them in the season like he did the club World Cup. Well, again, I think Gundo's going to be gone. Surely he doesn't stay. That would be mental. That would be mental. Should I just very quickly... Because we know the... I keep forgetting. We know the Premier League homegrown situation. That's locked in. That's safe. But... the Champions League one is slightly different. And we have to have the question of... Are City really going to not register players at the start of the season in the Champions League? That seems a bit mental. What was the rule again? I've forgotten the Champions League one. I think the rule is you have to have minimum 8 homegrown players, 4 of which have to be like club trained, the other 4 minimum association trained. And I think that you can register like another 17 players. I think that's right. And they don't include the under-21s. So we are massively over right now, aren't we? Because Kusanov won't count as under-21 like he does for Premier League. Savia won't count for under-21. And Hayes won't count for under-21 either for Champions League because they don't give a shit about that. So that's at least 3 players. That's at least 3 where there's an excess. So we're either going to have to loan out some young players, you know, like a Hayes or and Echeverri as well. I've just realised Echeverri as well. So we're going to have to either loan out some of these players or we are going to have to move on some of these non-homegrown older players. Because right now we are at a massive surplus. I've just realised how bad the surplus is for the Champions League. If you want more detail on the homegrown situation, I did a stream about it ages ago called The Homegrown Dilemma. Go watch it. It's a good video if you haven't already done so. So I'm pretty confident that surely the club are going to move on a couple of non-homegrown options. Surely. Look at that surplus. That's mental. That can't be right. You can't just not register some of these players because, especially in like, you know, games against Bratislava, these are the games that they need to be playing. These are the games they need to be playing. So I don't know. I don't know, man. It's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. This is why it's so tricky. This is why it's so tricky and complicated to discuss the squad next year and say, well, Pep will play Gundo, Pep will play Bernardo, Pep will play Kovra, Pep will play Akanji, whoever it may be. They might not even be here. It's really hard. It's really hard to know what's going on behind the scenes. It's all well and good players coming out saying, I'm locked in, I'm ready to play football. But if the club are like, well, actually, we can't even really afford to like register you, you know. So you might have to like go if you want to play any football, any meaningful minutes. It'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see. Lovely Top says the stuff. This is just a standard one, mate. If you want a proper bit of LNobbins merch, the stuff, and I know you do, then go to the Knob Shop. Link in the video description for some exclusive Nobbins merch. We have Fraud tops, we have Elbins tops, we have Blue Moon tops, we have Most People Are Idiots tops, and hoodies and coats, etc. Go do it. Our defense will get ramshackled, says Daniel. Big Knob. Maybe that should be the name of my second channel, guys. Shall I make a second channel to talk about non-city things and call it Big Knob? No, I'll just call it W Nobbins. W Nobbins. Or just Nobbins. Yeah, big up to the South Africa Massive. Big up to them. Oh, Canada. How concerned are you about Pep's poor decision making going into the season? We can't afford a repeat of last season's poor decisions. Yeah, so what was interesting, and a shout out to Bailey who sent me this, because I don't watch the press conferences because I just don't, because I spend my time on other things. But Pep said something like, I got it wrong against Al Hilal. I thought they were going to press us high, and the subsequent subs were designed to remedy that error. So that could also be an explanation as to why he started those players in the way he did, because he thought that Al Hilal were going to play in a very different way. That being said, I still don't really get why he wouldn't play for North Shirky if that was your conclusion, but I don't know. I don't know. Why is everyone confident Gundo's leaving? The only thing we're seeing him is saying he's staying. I think it's just because of the numbers game, I think. Again, there's no guarantees, but it has to make sense from a numbers perspective. If Pep said last season, I've got too many players, I don't like having too many players, and we are now adding all of these players, then something's got to give, hasn't it? Something's got to budge one way or the other. It just seems more like, and it seems like that it should surely be like one of those like players leaving. What do you make of Eze Madueke going to Arsenal? Wait, is that like confirmed or something? When he shot, why is it so expensive? Because, well, they're not expensive, first of all, but secondly, it's high quality shit. Go ask LB. This is some high quality merchandise, yeah? I only pick the premium stuff, so you guys know. If you buy Nobbins shit, it's premium, yeah? It's a premium bit of clothing or attire or a poster. How does defending against counterattacks work? How can City do it? Like the problem is fundamentally that a team that dominates the ball, their biggest weakness will always be a counterattack by definition. So that has to be the first bit of understanding here. The only way to truly like eliminate being counterattacked is to be a counter-attacking side and to just like forfeit possession and defend and hit other teams on the counter. Now that is obviously never going to happen, nor should it happen. Big OT Tin, so we'll come to that in a moment. Nor should it happen, because history has told us that in the Premier League era, defensive sides don't tend to win the Premier League. It's happened before, or counter-attacking sides, sorry. It's obviously happened before. You know, like at Conte's Chelsea, for example, they were still a supreme offensive side, though, in respect to scoring goals as well. But in general, they were seen as a more counter-attacking side. Now, maybe that's just because they're rarer at the highest level, but generally speaking, the best teams in the world are the ones that have most of the ball. So we're never going to fully eliminate it. We have to accept there will always be a degree of susceptibility and vulnerability on the counter. That's fine. That's fine. Leicester, that's another great example. Thank you. Yeah. Again, a massive outlier and not something that is a common trend in the Premier League. So that's a starting point. It's part and parcel of playing the game. You can obviously mitigate it, though. The best way City have mitigated it in the past is through counter-pressing and mixed with correct decision-making, i.e. having risk-takers who know where and when to take those risks, rather than dicking around and losing the ball for no reason for the sake of it. Only taking the risks when they are there to be taken, that sort of thing. The counter-press. That's basically what lacked last season. We didn't have it. You can't press effectively when your midfield, it is often comprised of players who are too old, basically. Once again, we know that. We know that's the case. And then you mix in all the other injury issues as well. Didn't really happen. I think that has gone a long way this summer. We've helped that issue by bringing in Reinders, for example. He's an absolutely wonderful counter-presser, so especially in the final third as well. Rodri coming back, even at 80% of his level, will obviously also help that as well. And just like playing these more intense plays generally, like whether it's Savio, Foden, Marmoush, whoever, that will also help as well. So that's the best way that City have found to defend counter-attacks, by pressing. It's also like a Klopp Liverpool thing as well. It's also just like an elite club thing as well. That's the best way to do it. You also need very aggressive centre-backs as well, who are willing to push up, and preferably are also able to catch up to runners at pace as well. This is why people have been asking for Kusanov to play more minutes, and I totally understand that line of thinking as well. So hopefully that answers the question. It's a tricky one. Yeah, I've got so many South Africans. Big up. As I say, my third highest viewership from South Africa. Big up. Big up, big up. Hope Cowden's angry how Pep crashed out of the World Cup. If what we saw against Al Hilal last season are out of the race by December, it's time to move on. Now, Tinsey, I don't disagree. I don't disagree that if, like, next season, it's the exact same issues, then there is absolutely a problem there, isn't there? And someone's not learning their lesson. But I just don't think that will be happening next year because of the really weird season that was last season. Whether it was, I mean, partly Pep's fault, of course, due because it was his squad at the end of the day, and he's the squad builder. But at the end of the day, the squad was not fit for purpose, coupled with all the insane injuries as well that happened to City. So I really don't think it will happen. But I don't disagree with your point that if it happens again next season, then obviously something's going on here, isn't there? Obviously, I just don't think it will happen because of the new personnel that have come in. Thank you for your super chat, matey. And you get a fortune as well, Tinsey. When the moment comes, take the top one. That's your fortune, Tinsey. I don't know how you want to interpret that. When the moment comes, take the top one. That's your homework, Tinsey. You've got to report back to this stream whenever, on this channel, whenever, and we want to know what is the moment that came. Did you take the top one, and what was it? Maybe it'll be a pack of cards. Maybe it'll be a piece of toast, you know, in like a stack of bread. I don't know, but let us know. Keep us updated on that. Yeah, we go bald for super chats. We go bald. And that again, that is why people have been asking for Kusanov to play more minutes. And again, I don't disagree that it is a lot easier for a quicker defender to thrive in that sort of thing, especially if you only have two centre backs at the back. That is definitely the case. It's not the same as a slower defender can't play well, or can't play well in a two, or can't play well in a high line, obviously. But there is no doubt that just more naturally is better suited for them, of course. You know, like a Van der Ven type as well, where it's just blisteringly quick. The Connected Investors app, I don't know what they even is under. Is that like an advert or something? We shouldn't have flown bar, says Nintendo. I think that we definitely should have done, because he's not got the experience yet. He's still incredibly young as well. We need to I think we need to give him time. I think we need to give him time on that. Pep needs a break. He's overcomplicating simple situations. Is Roger injured again? I don't think we know anything, do we? I don't think we know anything about that. A big up to you, Herbal. I'm doing very good. Bernardo being made captain would be our downfall. What's your take? No. What do I think? I think that he's the best option to be captain based on like his experience and leadership skills and what's not. The potential problem it introduces is just, does that therefore mean that he'll play more than he should? That's not necessarily the case, because Fernandinho in his last year, if memory serves, did not play that much football in the grand scheme of things. Like, he wasn't playing Fernandinho at the expense of someone else. So that's how so I'm going to reserve judgment and err on the side of Bernardo's going to be more of like a club captain in name rather than a captain where it's like you've got to start him week in, week out. That's the way I'm looking at it. This is hyperbolic because downfall's crazy, but I understand the point you're making, which is it a bad thing? And I agree that if he's playing over Foden, Nico, Reinders, Shirky, Savio, whoever it is, on a consistent enough basis, I do agree that is a problem, and that's an error. I'm going to remain hopeful that it's more of a Fernandinho captain situation, where the fact he was captain didn't really correlate to game time necessarily. That's the hope. We'll see, though. We'll obviously have to see. What lineup would I bet on and consider the best for City? Well, my team would be based on the current personnel. Assuming players, come back to fitness, like Rodri. Like if Rodri turns into an injury-prone player, and he can't stay fit or he becomes rubbish, then obviously this changes, doesn't it? But generally, let's assume that players come back to full fitness and sharpness, whatever term you want to say. I'm having Ederson, Ait-Nouri. I'm also trying to be relatively practical as well, so Diaz will be starting. Although I would like to see Kusama play at some points. Gvardiol, Diaz, Nunes, Foden, Reinders, Rodri, Shirky, Marmoush, Haaland. That's what I would do. Big up to you, Tensei, for subscribing. You've got to let us know, mate. You've got to let us. Can you please confirm that you're going to let us know with the? You're going to take the top one when the moment comes. I need to know. We need a better winger or attacking midfielder. Etihad Einstein. We've just signed Shirky. And we have many wide players. But we don't have a proper right back, so I don't know if I agree. Will I ever shave? No. No, hello? No, Pep must stop trusting the old god. That's what I'm saying, Jimmy. That's what I'm hoping for. People don't care about current abilities. When they see a promising talent, it's an issue, says Herbal. There was definitely an issue when Echeverri was signed. Because people decided that he was something that he wasn't. Because they hadn't seen enough of him. And they were like... Again, it's shiny new toy syndrome. It was the same thing with McAtee as well. People were like, start McAtee. And then you start and realize, maybe he's not as good as we thought, or he's not doing the expectations that we thought. We even saw it with Shirky on his debut. We will see it with Echeverri if he ever has like a run of games and doesn't perform to the level these people have in their brains. And it's happening with like Bob as well. It's a thing. Oh, wow. You guys aren't capping. Christ. Officially charged. Party has been officially charged. Christ. That's Fabrizio Romano, yes? Yeah, that's the correct Romano account. That's not cap. Wow. Officially charged. The CPS has authorized the Metropolitan Police to charge a man after a file of evidence was submitted. The Met has issued a charge and requisition to Party in connection with the following offences. Christ. Offences alleged to have taken place between 2021 and 2022. Well, that is fucking horrible. I really hope that he is found not guilty and it's shown that didn't happen. The sexual offence, the sexual assault. Obviously, we don't want that to be true, but Christ. That is horrible. If he's guilty, may he be put to justice. Hopefully he didn't do anything, because if he did, then that means that obviously there are a number of victims out there, and that's disgusting. Yeah. Wow. Mad. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. Yeah, that's horrible. It's horrible. But his contract's expiring anyway, isn't it? So would there have been any... No, there wouldn't have been any correlation with that. No, it doesn't matter. Well, there you go. It's a good thing that Arsenal didn't extend his contract then, I suppose. I wonder how much they knew. That would be interesting to know behind the scenes. That would be interesting behind the scenes, how much did they know that the charges were going to be filed ahead of time? Like, did they get warning or whatever? Interesting. I agree on this, Spartacus. Yeah, the notion of you need to be quick for Highline is ridiculous. Barca play Highline with Puyol and PK while having high-flying fullbacks. The thing to make Highline successful is pressure. Exactly, yeah. No, totally agree. And this is why I don't like it when people think, and this is why I'm pushing back on it. People are saying Ruben Diaz can't do this, but I've seen him do it. It's not like this is a new thing with City, where City have played a high line. Like, it can absolutely work. We were just saying that you're more. It's a bit easier for you if you are quicker, of course. And yeah, you're absolutely right. What we need to do is have that counter pressing pressure. Totally agree, Spartacus. The Al Hilal game. And thank you so much, mate, for renewing your membership. Your random football player is Park Ji-sung. The Al Hilal game showed us that we need both Rodrigo and Pedri. They are direct, clinical, and technical players. We would have won the 6-tuple if we had them. This guy. Again, hopefully on the party situation, hopefully he's either put to justice if he's done it, or best case scenario is that he didn't actually do it, obviously, because then that means the crime hasn't been committed. But yeah, that is pretty grim. It's pretty grim, isn't it? Hopefully the victims get justice. What about the right back signing? We don't know enough, do we? I think Echeverry is bound or potential. Yeah, we don't know. Yeah, definitely Thunder Road, definitely. We don't. It's tricky though, isn't it? Because he wasn't charged, so there it is. It's definitely controversial, but it's not. I don't think it's necessarily black and white, because I think that if they did do a thing of, I don't know what it is either way, to be honest with you, but because if they did go, right, you're accused, then you can't play. Like, what if it then came out, oh, actually nothing happened? I don't know. I don't think it's black and white. But he has been charged, though. Obviously, now you have to do it because he's been charged like that. That's obviously the thing to do. Again, we don't know what Arsenal know. If they did know a bit more than they were alleging, by implication, then it's a problem, isn't it? But we don't. I don't think we know enough information about it to make proper assertions on it. And it is also innocent before guilty, of course. But yeah, night charge, you obviously can't do that. It was like when Mendy got charged when he was a City player. City suspended him when he got charged. So yeah. And we don't know. So I don't wish to speculate on what Arsenal may or may not have known, because I don't think that's fair or right to do. We can have our thoughts, but I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't in the Arsenal meetings. Anyway, let's change. Let's move topic, because that was not really much we can do about that there. We'll just have to wait and see, and hopefully justice is served either way. What were we talking about? We were talking about the high line situation. We were talking about Diaz. Oh, we were just answering questions as well, weren't we? Sarah asks, do I think we need a new goalkeeper? If Ederson's leaving next year, then I don't see why we can't pull the trigger now and go, right, okay, mate, you're leaving next year anyway, so, and you want to go to Saudi, so, like, you can just be the backup, basically. If the long-term goal is to get rid of him, and obviously it is, I don't know why you wouldn't just do that if he's not signing an extension, and if he's leaving next year anyway. That's the way I see it. And even if you're going to bring in this number one to play number two next year, and then play number one the year after, at least you might as well bring them in now, get them used to the side. Don't apologise for bringing it up. No, it's important to talk about, of course. No, it's important to talk about. And yeah, this is the thing as well, of course. Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. We don't know what's going to happen. But obviously it's fucked either way, isn't it? Whether he's guilty or not guilty, it is fucked regardless. Like, a fucked thing has happened, whichever side you land on, and it's very upsetting either way. Oh, of course, Mary. Yeah. Anthony, wait, what? Neymar was in a similar situation if he didn't have the phone recording. Oh, yeah, just on that. Yeah, it's a tricky one, isn't it? We're in the trenches at this point. I see Chelsea replacing us in the top three. I'm not going to go that far. Who would be potential goalkeepers? Well, the two that we have as options are realistically. I mean, it's going to be Costa, isn't it? Seemingly. Do you guys remember ages ago when I looked at those numbers? I'm just going to look at those numbers one more time because it was on. Was it the only ever LBins that's been on the LNobbins channel? I should really do more LBins on these channels. I just don't. It's just a faff because I don't stream the way most other football YouTubers do. So it's more of a faff for me to get people on, if that makes sense. So it's not as easy for me. And also, I don't think I'm that good of a host as well, so I don't really invite people on for that reason as much. But let me just have a look at the goalkeeping situation. Let's just refresh our brains, shall we? Let's refresh our brains of goalkeepers. So this is based on last season. The first parameter that I'm going to search, and as I say, this is like a paid-for thing, so I'm not going to like live stream this. The first thing I'm going to search for goalkeepers is, I guess, prevented goals. Perhaps. Yeah, which is going to be post-shot expected goals, less goals assists, which is the best shot-stopping stat that you can do. He said he's down. Oh, did you ask him? I'd be up for Tom coming on. As I say, it's just a more awkward for me to do that. But I should do it more. Yeah, prevented goals. You guys tell me, what percentile do you want to go up to for preventing goals? What do you guys want to do? This is based on last season. Do you want to go to like the top? Wait, actually, for comparison, what's Edison? That's a good question. Let's actually put some perspective. What was Edison last season? Oh my god. It's really bad. It's really bad. 27.5. Wait, Raya was less? Huh. That's interesting. That's very interesting. How bizarre? This is for perspective. Alisson, who is one of the best shot stoppers in the Premier League, he was in the 87th percentile. So that's for comparison. Pickford in the top 65. 65th percentile. Edison 27.5. Raya 25.6. Which is mad. So as I say, this is only based on last season, but that's some perspective. So what do you guys want me to go for? 66.4%. Wait, so you want me to put the 65th percentile? Is that what you're after? Is that what you want? Is that what you want? Have I misunderstood? We can do that. We can do that. I was thinking. Yeah, let's do that. Why not? Yeah, because for comparison, Courtois is only 72.5 percentile. And Courtois is a very good shot stopper. So if we're using that as the yardstick, then I think that around... Let's push it up to 70. So let's say you're in the top 30%. You're in the top 30% for shot stopping. Based on this one metric, obviously, as well. Based on this one arbitrary metric, which isn't arbitrary, actually. It's quite important, but still. Not the be-all and end-all. Let's put it that way. We also have a save percentage metric. What percentile do we want for that, chat? For comparison, I'll let you know like some other players that we're obviously not going to get. Where was Courtois? Courtois' 83rd percentile, top 17%. That's an example for Courtois. Who else? Like another example to compare against. Leno from Fulham, 40th percentile. Henderson, 48th. There's some context for you. 69 again. Around 60 to 70. 70 plus, says Jamal. Well, we did 70 for prevented goals, so shall we just match it up and go 70 with save percentage as well? For the vibes. For the vibe. Or is that too high, actually? Is that going to eliminate basically everyone? Should we do 60? Let's do 60. That might be more realistic. That might be more practical. I've moved the wrong one. That's why I'm an idiot. I was wondering, it's like, why is there only 3 keepers? It's because, oh, I moved the wrong thing. My bad. There we go. Now let's do that. Now what do we have? Does that make a bit more sense? Does it make a bit more sense? Hang on, have I... Sorry, guys, I'm being a proper knobhead here. I'm doing the wrong things. No, that's Pickford. Hello? My brother. Is 50 too high? That safe percentage isn't really that high then. Oh, it's because it's doing percentiles rather than percentage. That's why my brain's confused, I think. Yeah. Yeah, that's why. My bad. Okay, we'll put that to one side for a moment. What else have we got? Passes completed. Well, we're going to be looking at a bloody... We need someone to actually... As much as people want us to move away from ball-playing goalkeepers, we still need them to be relatively competent at the passing. Do you know what I mean? We still need them to be somewhat competent in respect of the passing. So, I don't know what that translates to. Sorry. Again, I feel like I'm being too harsh with some of these. I'm going to go for top 40 for passes completed. Because to be fair, if you're in a relegation side, then you're not going to be doing much passing, are you? But we still need someone to be relatively or reasonably comfortable with that. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. So I'm going to put passes completed to like the top 40%, something like that. Just so we're not getting rid of teams that set up more defensively. Because that's a bit... But at the same time, we need to also still have a metric that has some passes, surely. What else? Perhaps long pass completion percentage or short pass completion percentage, maybe. That could be a thing. Again, I'm just going to put that up to a baby amount. Just a baby amount so that relegation sides don't get shafted. Or you know, lesser sides get shafted, sorry. Because that wouldn't be fair, would it? Oh, I've just realised maybe the most important metric, age. Age. How old do we want this keeper to be, guys? Because we want to be thinking about a keeper for the future. We want to be keeping one for the future, don't we? Do we even want to go over 25? How old was Ederson when he came to City? Was he 24? 25? 20. Okay, oh no, 20. That's a little bit young, mate. I wonder if you're going to get an elite keeper that's 20 years old. Obviously less than 30. Yeah, even that, I think that might be too old, though. I was thinking more like 25-ish or something. 20 to 27. 23. Well, should we do... Sorry. 26 and under. 65, Spartacus, mate. What are you doing to me, mate? Okay. I'm going to say... Because we shouldn't be signing a teenager, realistically, should we? So... Do you get me? So I'm going to put that parameter in. And to be fair, that hasn't actually... Wait, how old's Donnarumma? Is Donnarumma still that young? Or is my thing broken? Is Donnarumma still a young goalkeeper? I thought he was a bit older than that. He's 26, so why isn't he going away? Oh, because he was 25 last season. Ah, so therefore I need to put the parameter to 24 if I want people that are 25 and under. That makes sense, doesn't it? Now Donnarumma's still not going. Yeah, fairs. I think this thing's just broken. Why is Donnarumma not disappearing, my guy? Are you okay? Bro. There you go. Now he's gone. Christ. That's good. We've done that, Ken boy. Don't you worry. We have done that. So, what do we have? Lucky. What do we have here? Who do we bloody have? Any other things that I want to search by? Don't think so. Don't think so. I'm going to be harsher, actually. I'm going to change this to the top 5 leagues. Just to be a little bit elitist. Just for a moment. They do, Dave, but we're after a goalkeeper for the future, aren't we? So that's all I'm thinking. That's all I'm thinking. I'm going to be a little bit, as I say, a little bit harsher and go for the top 5 leagues. Do we want like a goalkeeper who's like semi-competent in the air? Like aerial duels winning? Or actually no, maybe interceptions. Maybe interceptions. Because we're going to want them to be doing some like sweeping action, you get me? So that could be a thing. It could be a thing, couldn't it? Maybe I should do that. How old's Costa, by the way? Because he's another player we're linked with. Mate, this search engine is fucked, man. What's going on? I'm trying to refresh the age. It's not working. Oh, wait. I can't do top 7 if we're talking about Costa. What an idiot I am. Haha. I can't be harsher because he's someone we're actually linked with, so I've got to keep the Portuguese league in. We do, because Diaz sucks in the air. Okay. Right, let's see then. What percentile do we want for winning aerials then? Like top 50%? What do you reckon? To be good in the air, to command your box. Okay, yes. Yeah, you guys saying super competent in the air. Let's do that then. Aerial duels. Let's put it to. Okay, that is the key. Hey, big up single herbal. Love that from you. Well, you want 70? Oh my god. I mean, we can do that. Right. Okay. That is the key, guys. Okay, so I'll refresh what the parameters are. Here is the state of play. Top. Wait, did we want the? No, sorry, we want to prevent goals as 70 as a 70th percentile, not 60, didn't we? Right. Okay. It's basically the same conclusion with slight. Actually, no, the list has gotten shorter. The prevented goals is in the top 30%. The long pass completion, to be fair, it's only in the top 20%, but that has also ruled out a lot of people. The passes completed is only in the top 40%, but we've done that low to account for teams that don't necessarily even play from the back at all. The aerial duels one is in the top 70%. These are the parameters. Oh, sorry, the final parameter, 20 to 25. That's the final one. There are 3 names. There are 3 names on this list. 3 names. There's 2 that we know, which is Costa and Chevalier. There's also someone who I don't have a fucking clue who he is. He is the goalkeeper for Sporting Braga. Horny Czech. He's a horny Czech. He is in the 100th percentile for aerials won. He's in the one percentile for save percentage though, so maybe I don't know what's going on there. But you know, that might be interesting. So I might need to do a Sporting Braga scouting mission. Does anyone know who he is? I don't fucking know. I don't watch Sporting Braga. He's played one game. Let's have a look. And he is actually from Czechia, so he actually works. No, he played 17 games in the Portuguese league last season, so he's not unknown. Right, well, you know, I don't know anything about him. He's played 19 games for Braga. Let's be honest, the sample size is too low. Let's eliminate him by putting the save percentage up to 5%, shall we? Because that's a bit mad. Wait, you have actually scouted him? No, you haven't. Don't lie. Surely not. Surely not. You guys have actually watched him, Fairs. You do. When I play FM24 with a Benfica save, I love that. Should we get him? But yeah, even if we like put save percentage to something as little as like 5%, that does leave us with only 2 names. Damn, Spartacus. I'll watch the Portuguese league if there's a player that we are signing, like Nico, and then I'll watch all the games, but no. There we go. We did this midway through the season. We've done it again. And the same 2 names keep coming up every time. It's Chevalier and it's Costa. It's surely got to be one of these 2. They tick the boxes in respect of the shot stopping. They tick the boxes in respect of winning aerials. Chevalier in particular, he's in the 75th percentile for winning aerials. They tick the boxes for long passing and also short passing, although Chevalier is a bit down on that because he plays for Lille rather than Costa, who plays for Porto. He was in the bottom 1% for save percentage. But that save percentage, like Chevalier is in the bottom 5.6%. But save percentage doesn't necessarily mean that you're bad at shot stopping because he's in the top 20% for shot stopping. So it's percentages make it a little bit trickier. So save percentage isn't that valuable of a stat, to be honest with you. Errors leading to a goal. I don't have that right in front of me. If I like compare these 2 on like a radar chart, which I could show because radars are free on Data MB. This is Data MB, by the way. Big up to them. Costa versus Chevalier. I'm going to now print screen this. Oh my god, how do I do that? There we go, bosh. Here we go, chat. Look at this. I've done a thing. Hello. This is comparing Costa and Chevalier. As it's not... Wait. Interceptions? I'm not going to lie, guys. I don't know what the hell that means. What is that PADJ? What is that? What does that stat mean? Is that just like... Is that like sweeping actions? Does anyone know what that means, guys? PADJ. Post... Adjacent? I actually don't... I understand what an interception would be. That would be like a sweeping action. But I don't understand what the PADJ stand for. Oh, possession adjusted. Oh. That's so clever. Excellent. Thank you, guys. That's a really good stat to know then, because I was going to say earlier that Costa is in like the bottom 5% for interceptions before it's adjusted for possession, which is what this is. So this is a far more interesting stat. Okay, right, cool. Because obviously Costa's not going to do Costa's not going to intercept that much. because his team have the ball all the time. What does that mean? It means that it's accounting for the context of Costa's team having all the ball all the time. So he's not going to intercept as much as a relegation threatened side, but relative to the possession he has. I'm sorry, Yash, I didn't know. I missed it. I'm sorry. No, that's the one I said. I was reading your comment. Possession adjusted. Yeah, Yash. Shout out to you. Yeah, so that means that even though Chevalier... No, wait. No, Chevalier is better when it's adjusting for possession. How interesting. How interesting. I would have thought it would be the other way round. So again, this very basic radar chart essentially tells us that, which is also true because I know it because I've watched them. Chevalier is the better shot stopper. Chevalier is better in the air, of course. Costa is not terrible at shot stopping, of course, but is inferior. Isn't as good as dominating his box, but is a far superior player on ball. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay. Cool. Cool. The aerials one's interesting for Costa. Look at how low it is. Oh my god, why? What's he doing? What's he playing at? Wait, hang on. Hang on, chat. Oh wait, that's the wrong one, so you guys can't even tell who it is. I'm such an idiot. There we go. Right, I've added Edison. Oh my god. So Costa's worse in the air than Edison. That's what that graph's telling us. But again, we're being babies here. We're very baby analysis, just using this graph. It also tells us that Costa's a better shot stopper than Edison, based on last season. Edison's obviously the superior passer. He's the superior long pass percentage, obviously. Interceptions are similar. So basically, Chevalier and Costa are both better than Edison on almost all metrics. Not passing, though. Like, Edison's obviously got that down to a T, because that's him. I haven't done I've done a basic scouting mission, but not a full one yet. That will be my task after I come off holiday. That does not fill me with a supreme amount of confidence, though. I will say that much. Oh yeah, you're right. Aerials won there. What is going on? Yeah, it's saying yeah, you're right. Aerials won 78, but then on the graph it's stinky. I don't really know what's going on here with this data. I don't know. That's a really good question, guys. I don't know. This is what I mean. This is just like a random graph that I've pulled up just for fun so we can chat about it. It's not the be all and end all by any means. It's more interesting than anything else. But that is confusing. Yeah, you're not. Yeah, that is weird. I don't know why it's doing that. What is the truth, guys? What is the truth? Okay, I'm going to do another one. I'm going to do a plot. I'm going to do a plot, guys. We're going to compare the 7 goalkeepers. Top 7 leagues, sorry. What we're going to do, we are going to do... what metrics can we compare? Not passing. Let's not do passing for a second. Something to do with aerials, I guess, if we can do that. Long passes, no. Short passes, no. Forward passes, no. Interceptions. Maybe one is interceptions per 90 and interceptions adjusted for inflation. I don't know. Aerial duels per 90. Or maybe one's aerial duels and one's aerial duels win percentage. Maybe. I'm going to do that. I'm going to put one on the x-axis and one on the y-axis. Aerial duels per 90 versus aerial duels percentage. That will give us a full picture of these lads. Yeah? Surely. That will be the key, right? Is that the thing to do? Is that the thing to do? Let's have a look. And then Edison as well. Okay. Edison has got an aerial duels win percentage of 100%. No, he bloody doesn't. Hello? What are you talking about? Ah, okay, guys. This data might be cap. He does not have a 100% aerial duel win percentage. What is going on? There's no way that's real. I'm not having it. I'm not having that. Let's do it. Let's do prevented goals per 90 instead then, shall we, maybe? Okay, this is interesting. That's just aerial duels, though. That's not necessarily winning them. Well, I guess, to be fair... aerial duels 1 per 90. Maybe that's a better thing to look at. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Right. Okay, chat. Okay. On the x-axis, we have aerial duels 1 per 90. So now again, just because Costa is all the way to the left does not mean that he's bad at them, because this is about volume. Because the percentage one is fucked for some reason. I can't do aerial duels 1 percentage because it says he's got... excuse me. It says he's got 100%. And that is cap. That is cap. And now, so we've got X, aerial duels 1 per 90. And on the Y, prevented goals per 90. Look at Chevalier. Look at my goat, man. Look at my goat. Look at him. Look at how high up he is. What a boy. What if we have, like, interceptions adjusted for... What's it? Yeah, to be fair, Costa is a better interceptor. That is reasonable. That's maybe the only gripe that we can have. Either way, I don't really know what I'm talking about here. I don't know if any of that's interesting. But... Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, fake news, absolutely. Chevalier's a fraud. Yash, what the hell? That's my goat. That's my boy. That's my boy. I know we're not going to get him, but it's a thing. Bailey, maybe that's a good idea, yeah. I'm struggling here, man. There's no way some of this data's right. Does it have crosses claimed? I don't know if it does. Is it that clever? Because that would be better, wouldn't it? What's an exit per 90? I've never heard of that. An exit per 90. Shirky Nelson's video should be coming this weekend, matey. There's possessions 1. There's possessions 1. That's relatively close. It doesn't look like there's crosses claimed, which is a shame, because that would, you're right, that would be a good stat. What a shame. I don't think it exists on this graph. Possession. There's duels. There's touches. No, it's not there, sadly. It's not there. That's a shame. That's a shame, because that might have been interesting. Well, it would have been interesting. Oh! Exits when a keeper comes out to get the ball. Is that what I'm after, then? Hello? Hello, hello? So exits per 90, that's what we want? Question mark. That's when a keeper comes out to get the ball. What does that mean? That's quite vague. What does that mean specifically? When a keeper comes out to get the ball? Do you mean like a sweeping action? Or does that also include coming for crosses? What are we saying? What we're saying on that? What are we saying? I can show you the graph, but I don't know what it means. Exits per 90. Right. Murich of Ipswich Town is the best in respect of exits per 90. So does that mean that does that mean that he rushes? I don't know. I should probably have researched all this before the stream, to be honest with you. And exits per 90 stat goalkeeper. The fuck does it mean? Y Scout glossary, come here, mate. Goalkeeper leaving line. No, that's not what I'm after. I'm after exits, you twat. What? No, that doesn't help. Oh, here we go. The amount of times the keeper leaves his line, whether to claim a cross or to sweep, normalized per 90 minutes. Ooh, okay, so exits per 90 is as close as we're going to get for claiming a cross. Okay, this now becomes a very relevant stat. Thank you, guys. Cool. Cool. And they say it's normalized based on... Yeah, not normalized per 90, so not normalized based on possession, which is a bit of a shame. But that's fine. So what should I put that against? Exits per 90 against what? Prevented goals? Prevented goals per 90? Is that what we want? Could be. Could be a thing. Could be a thing. Just seeing if there's any better stats. Saves, not really that helpful. Yeah, I think prevented goals per 90. Guys. Actually, wait. Let me add... wait, before I do that, just ignore that. Ignore that, yeah. Let me also add... Because I know it was another player that we were linked with. I know he's like gone to Barca, but we were linked with him, to be fair. Are there any other goalkeepers that you guys want me to compare to, actually? I'll throw Allison in there, because he's good at the football, isn't he? Can we throw Ortega in there? Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Yeah. Trubin. I got Trubin. Any other goalkeepers you guys want me to add for the purposes of comparison? Let me know, and I will bloody add it. And then I'll need to shoot off. Actually, I need to shoot off in 2 minutes, I've just realised. Because of reasons. Trafford. Top 7 leagues only, sorry, guys. Bring Murich back. Okay, I'll put in Murich. Don't worry about that. That's fine. That's fine. Claudio Bravo, shut up, mate. Right, I'll leave you with this, and then I do need to shoot off to go record a podcast with Bailey. Oh, sorry, you wanted one more player. Oh, is he the Roma one? Yeah, he is. I've actually heard of him. Oh, he's quite high. You know? He's a boy. Guys. Ooh. So, again, I've just put we're not going to get Juan Garcia, obviously. I've just put him there for this for the sake of it. Look who is decent at the top in respect to per passes per 90, and also look at how he compares to Costa and Ederson. Look at my boy Chevalier. Chevalier is on the list. People have asked me about him. I don't know enough about him, so maybe it's something I can look into. But he's also, I mean, he's got more exits per 90, not quite as good prevented goals per 90, but that's interesting. Muric should replace Ortega, yeah. Right, guys. Hopefully you. I know that this show wasn't exactly planned or anything. Hopefully you guys were still able to enjoy it. This is the last stream before I go on holiday. I'm going on holiday on Tuesday. This weekend, hopefully, the Shirky analysis video will be out. I'm also hoping that I can also finalise the itinerary analysis video to upload whilst I am on holiday and away. I'll also see if I can record and ask Nobbins to go up whilst I'm away. But either way, I'll also be active. I'll still be active on Twitter. I might share like some lovely photos of my share some photos of my food and activities and what's not, but there will be no streams. I'm not the sort of person who goes on holiday and does a live stream on their phone. When I'm on holiday, I am on holiday, and there will not be any live streams or extra content, no matter what happens, I'm afraid. So hopefully you can understand. I will see you guys live again. What the hell is this on my screen? Oh, yeah. I'll see you guys live again when I come back. I come back on the 17th of July. So we'll do a touchline talk on the 18th, and that will be like a return to that the day after I come back. Thank you guys so much for all your wonderful support for this season. The best is yet to come, guys. Stick with me. I think the content's getting better. I think you guys will see that in the Shoki analysis video. Thank you guys so much, as always, for your beautiful support. Shout out to all the super chatters today. I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.